Welcome to the session negotiations. Sorry. Welcome to the session negotiation that makes a difference. Okay. So there are two types of negotiations. One is called distributive negotiations and the other integrative. Distributive negotiations are dividing the pie 80-20. One person wins, the other person loses. Whereas integrative negotiations are the types where they for their value they create a win-win situation, right? So there are two types of this. This is mostly the theory part of negotiations, so I'm going to run through it. I'm going to give a PDF which you can download, go through the theories, which will yeah. So distributive is typically hard bargaining, not a fixed pie because one wins and the other loses. Typically, strangers are involved inside of this. So examples of distributive negotiations can be the way we go and market, haggle in the market. Typically, bargaining is the strong point in this. You buy a car, you buy a furniture, you buy anything. Wherever there is bargaining, strong, hard bargaining is involved. And focus is more on winning. That is what is distributive negotiations. Whereas integrative negotiations are more interest-based, more principle-based. They expand the pie rather than dividing the pie. Okay, they create win-wins. They do trade-offs. It is based more on trust and they believe in retaining relationships. So typically non-monetary negotiations would fall into this category. Business collaborations, or a person who wants to go for a leave and you can't afford to give them a leave. All those kinds of negotiations where trust is involved, high degree of you have to focus on the interests and needs of the people, principle-based negotiations. These are integrative negotiations. So there are three types of bargainers. I would say negotiators: soft, hard, and principled. So soft people, obviously, they consider it as a competition. They are very gentle-natured. They make offers that are not in their own best interests. They yield to the other's demands very easily. Absolutely avoid confrontation. So these are the soft bargainers. They're more friendly. Their goal is agreement. And they can easily change their opinions. So these are the very soft bargainers. They are used in certain places. Hard bargainers, on the other hand, use contentious strategies to influence. That means they will create some kind of discord, some kind of disagreement, and use that to influence. They are very powerful. They are distrustful. They are very dominating. They will use phrases like "This is my final offer." So very hard bargaining kind of a person. They apply pressure. They see others as adversaries. Now, these are required in certain places because, let's say you are dealing with terrorists. Now, terrorist negotiation is not that simple. A soft bargainer can never go and do bargaining with terrorists. So, hard bargainers have their own plus points. However, their ultimate goal is victory, and not too much of emphasis on win-win. They're okay with a win-lose. Whereas principled are the mix of the hard and the soft. They are integrative, they're problem focused, they separate the people from the problem. As against hard bargainers, they don't separate the problem and the people. For them, everything is the same. Principled bargainers, they explore interests and needs of people, and that's why they can come up with kind of win-win situations. They are more principle-based negotiators. They have their own values on which they will negotiate, and they have certain moral standards. They are very fair in their dealings. So this is a kind of a blend of the soft and the hard, right? Styles of negotiations: avoiding, accommodating, competing, compromising, and collaborating. I'm sure if I don't have to go through details of everything because as the name suggests, people will avoid. They known as the lose-lose. I am not okay, you are not okay. They will avoid the situations. When the issue is avoided, that's when. These are individuals who don't like to negotiate, and unless and until they are forced to do that. Okay. So these are the avoiding style. Not very useful in places where you want some results. Um, Appropriate to use when you want to buy time. That's the best place to avoid. If you need cooling off period, if the negotiation is not relatively important, then you can use this kind of style. Very useful when cost of challenge is quite high. There is little chance of success. Sorry. I would say that it's okay. Very successful when you want to buy time or you want to other party. When there is solid heated arguments, you want the other party to cool down. The best place is to use that avoiding. Avoiding is not a bad style, okay? But it just postpones it, delays it so that, especially a emotionally charged negotiation, you need to buy time, and that's when you can use this style. Accommodating is known as lose win. They give in very slight response. They believe in I am not okay, but you are okay, and that's why they tend to give in very easily. Okay, they buy into other people's stories pretty easily, and that's why they lose many times. Uh, what happens when used? Differences are played down and surface harmony is maintained. So just to maintain the surface harmony, they will play down. When can you use it? Let's look at when can you use it. Very useful when you want to minimize the loss and when relationships are more important. That's when you can use this accommodating style. Competing style is the power game. I am okay, you are not okay. That's where they keep on fighting. They want to win. That's their response. Fighting is their response. All hard bargainers are typically they have this competing styles, right? Inappropriate to lose when losers are powerless to express themselves or their concerns. So if you don't allow other parties to express their concerns, the actual it is gonna loss. So not a very great way. So the best place is when you want to. There is only one prize to win. You want to win at any stake, any cost. Then this is a very best way of best style, I would say, of negotiation. Compromising style is known as splitting the difference. It is neither soft nor hard, somewhere in between. And inappropriate to use when solutions are so watered down that commitment by both parties are doubtful. When both parties are that way, so not a very great. So as I told you that I'm going to run through this in the sense that I'm going to put this. This is just theory. There are strategies are going to be discussed more. So I'm just going to run through. Competition or collaboration fails to lead to a solution. That is where you can use this. Collaboration is creating the win-win where they believe that everyone is equal. They try to solve problems through creative ways. Okay, there is certain mutual respect. So focus on creating collaborative style. Of course, when you are dealing with a hardcore nut, then you have to use the competing style. You can't just be soft on that person and not too many collaboration. But can you bring a blend of hard and compromising? Collaborating style is something that I would definitely recommend each one of you because it creates some amount of synergy when both people win. That's the focus, right? So let's look at the summary of the negotiation styles. Avoiding, trying to avoid all negotiation situations. They don't like negotiations, okay? At one point of time, I was like that. I did not like to negotiate, but now I'm much better. When I started understanding what is true negotiation, then I started to negotiate. Accommodating style yields to the other side no matter how much it hurts you. Competitive style attempts to gain at any cost. They are least bothered about anything. That's why they are very competitive in nature. Compromising makes concessions to come at agreement by meeting in the middle. And collaboration, which is the best style according to me. Collaboration is when you focus on the interests and needs of both the parties, inventing new ways of how to come to a session.